Hey, we on? We live? We good? Yep, I think so. I'm gonna readjust this a little bit. I should have done that earlier. Actually, I'm wearing a Darth Vader shirt. Anyway, so yeah, how you doing, everyone? How you doing, Internet? I'm JimClassic, and you are watching Geekin It. Not gaming it today. Not for once. Not gaming it. Today it's Geekin It. This is take this down because the music's. I tried to turn the volume down, but it's still. Yeah. Anyway, yeah, just doing something a little bit different today. Normally I'd be playing Tears of the Kingdom, but I just watched the first 2 episodes of the Ahsoka series on Disney Plus, and this is something I've been kind of wanting to do for a while. And I guess the Ahsoka series is kind of my excuse to give this a shot. Right now I'm live streaming this on Twitch. I don't really know if I'm going to be getting any viewers. I don't really know if I'm going to be getting a chat, but I'm just going to be talking about my thoughts anyway. It's probably going to end up on my YouTube channel anyway. So I figured, do something different and also, do something for my YouTube channel at the same time. I don't know, try something different. At this point, I'm just babbling. Anywho. So yeah, the Star Wars Ahsoka series, I guess it premiered yesterday on August 22nd, but I got to see it today, and watched the first 2 episodes of it. They're the only 2 episodes that are available right now, and this is I'm gonna try and keep this spoiler free. I might try and talk about maybe a few things that might tread into spoiler territory, but for the most part, I do kind of want to avoid that, at least for the first time, since the show is still kind of fresh in my head, but I also want to get stuff out before I forget things. Excuse me, sorry. But yeah, unfortunately, I think it's fading fast, my memory of the 2 episodes. But to get things started, I did like them. I thought they were okay. The first episode, I think the first episode was Master and Apprentice. That was the first title. Of course, I can't remember the title of the second episode. But it was. I thought the first episode was just, like, a little bit slow, but I still enjoyed it. Either way, I did write down a few things. I wrote down a few thoughts. I'll just have it here on a piece of paper. Probably just be reading through this. This is the stuff. This is actually the stuff I want to cover. Okay. Before I said it's a little. The show was a little slow, but before I get onto that, I have a few thoughts. I've tried to organize this out to the best of my ability. This is the stuff I want to talk about. Like I said, some spoiler-free thoughts on the episode. I want to talk about Rosario Dawson, my thoughts on the rest of the Rebels cast, maybe a few Easter eggs. This is where I might throw in some slight spoiler stuff, but I'll try to keep it to a minimum. My hopes and concerns for the show going forward. Guided by voices. How are you? You can't hang out tonight, but saying hi. Hope you're doing well, and I hope to be able to catch you. Yeah, you know what, Guided? Thank you for stopping by and saying hi. This week it's been so busy for me. This is the first time this week I've been streaming, though I will be streaming Tears of the Kingdom tomorrow, but that's probably the only time this week I'll be playing Tears of the Kingdom. But I think I've been missing your streams, or did you have a power outage or something? Either way, Guided, thanks for stopping by, even if it's only for a minute. And like I said, getting back on topic, my hopes and concerns of the Ahsoka series, and that's it. That's pretty much what I want to talk about. And yeah, those are the talking points. So yes, starting with the first 2 episodes, I'm just going to clump them together in one brief, hopefully coherent thesis. But I thought the 2 episodes were good. I did enjoy them. I did think the first episode was a little bit slow. I mean, I get it's character development, but there was a lot of just slow-paced moments in the first episode. But there was some Star Wars stuff, of obviously speeders, a little bit of lightsaber play at the beginning. we got to see at least a couple of our villains, and Ahsoka doing a little bit of Indiana Jones kind of grave robbing thing going on. Definitely some familiar voices. I recognize the governor of Lothal. We get to see Lothal in live action. That was cool because I remember the Rebel series. I really liked the Rebel series. It probably is one of the few things about Disney Star Wars that I genuinely enjoy and have very few complaints about. So definitely recognize some voices, definitely recognize some faces, even if they weren't animated. We see Ahsoka, we do see Sabine Wren, we do see Hera Syndulla. We see a Loth Cat. That might fall in the Easter egg part, but we do see a Loth Cat. But yeah, the first episode was okay. The middle part of the episode was the slowest part. It was just a lot of standing around, a lot of talking, very little going on. Kind of reminded me of the prequels a little bit. A lot of standing around, a lot of talking. I definitely got a little bit of prequel vibes in the middle half of the episode. But then again, the show was directed by Dave Filoni, and he did work under George Lucas, so maybe he picked up on some of those habits. But the opening part was pretty exciting. The end part was pretty exciting, and that's Star Wars. It's supposed to be exciting. So I got no complaints. I enjoyed it. It was good. Second episode, definitely more adventure driven, less slow. Um, we get to go to other planets. We get to see not Coruscant, Crescent. What's the word I'm looking for? Corellia. We get to see Corellia a little bit more. I mean, we saw Corellia in the Solo movie, but this is post Empire Corellia. Looks a lot nicer. Let's see. No new characters. Well, no. We did see an Inquisitor. Kind of, I guess, a carryover from the Empire. But the first episodes were fine. I actually have no complaints about them. They were fun Star Wars adventures. Um, and that's it. Like I said, that's my spoiler free. That is the best I can do, spoiler free. All right, but they were fun, and this is coming from someone who is very critical about Disney Star Wars. So far, I'm very half and half about Disney Star Wars. Half of it I just despise, and the other half I genuinely enjoy. And so, coming from that point of view, I liked the first two episodes, and that's that. We're gonna move on to just Ahsoka herself. Okay, moving on to Ahsoka herself, Rosario Dawson. Now, we first saw Rosario Dawson's Ahsoka in season 2 of The Mandalorian, and then we saw her again in the final episodes of the Book of Boba Fett. You know what? I'm not gonna lie. As much as I enjoyed the first 2 episodes, I'm still not 100% sure I'm really digging Rosario Dawson as Ahsoka. I'm not 100% sure about that yet. Like, I mean, in regards to, let's go to the Solo movie. Was it 2018? 2018 Solo movie. I liked the movie, but I never believed for a second that Alan Ehrenreich was Han Solo. I just never bought it for a second. It's like, why is this guy calling himself Han Solo when he's clearly not Han Solo? Like, that's the entire that is how I see him in the whole movie. Rosario Dawson is is almost that close. I'm not. I don't think I'm buying it. I'm not buying her as Ahsoka. You know, I mean, there's like what during the Clone Wars, she was a teenager. During the Rebels series, she was an adult. And post Empire, I guess Ahsoka is 35, 40 years old. So, we see Ahsoka in 3 different stages in her life: as a teenager, young adult in the Clone Wars, as a mature adult during Rebels, and, well, I mean, an adult and a mature adult in the Ahsoka series, too. The personality between and I'm sorry, I keep screwing up. I have to look up her name. I'm sorry. The differences between Ashley Eckstein's portrayal of Ahsoka and Rosario Dawson's portrayal of Ahsoka are practically 2 different characters. Now, granted, a lot can happen in 25 to 30 years that can change a person, sure. But like where Ahsoka was kind of had a bit of a sassy streak to her, could be a bit of a smartass. I mean, she was Anakin Skywalker's apprentice after all. She and Anakin worked well together. They were a good team. I'm not getting that sass from um, Rosario Dawson's Rosario Dawson's uh, portrayal of Ahsoka. I'm just not seeing it. Maybe it will happen. Maybe it'll happen in later episodes. But she's kind of really pulling it back. I mean, I don't remember the last movie I saw her in. I don't really know her style too well. But I'm just not digging her. I'm hoping some of that you know wise ass Ahsoka will eventually come out. Um, I don't remember her. I don't remember her being too feisty in the Rebels cartoon though. She was more tempered in the Rebels series. I do remember that. But that I don't know. Whatever it is that Ashley Eckstein does, she still pulled it off. I still believed it was Ahsoka during Rebels. I'm just not believing Dawson's performance. That's where I am. Maybe my opinion will change before the end of the series is out, but right now I can't quite believe it yet. I hope I hope my mind has changed, but that's where I stand right now. Still, it's not a terrible performance. It's not like she outright sucked at the job. It's just, you know, I'm still not feeling it yet. I'm sorry. Let me try to get like a big pitcher of water here. All right, so covered, Ashley Eckstein's portrayal. Like I said, they're night and day performances. So, my thoughts on the other rebels. Okay, well, we only see two other rebels in the first two episodes, and that's Harris and Dula. Use the mouth. We see Harris and Dula, and Sabine Wren, and the Loth Cat. We do see a Loth Cat too. We do see a hologram of Ezra, and well, I guess we do see Chopper. But anyway, Hera. Hera was okay. I mean, Hera was kind of the mother figure. She was the matriarch of the rebels in the cartoon. She was kind of the guys. We shouldn't really be fighting. We should be working as a team. We should be getting along. She was that character, and she's doing that a little bit in Ahsoka. We really should be getting along. We should be, getting the family back together. Come on. So she's definitely like a motherly type character. So that kind of still plays over. Her piloting skills are definitely still there. You see that in the second episode, which that's really cool. I like that the Phantom little shuttlecraft is still around, and she did okay. Sabine, I don't remember much of Sabine. I mean, I do remember Sabine, but I'm trying to remember her personality type. I mean, definitely free spirit, artist, demolitions. I think she liked to blow things up. She's definitely more sullen in the first couple of episodes, but I think there's some reason for it at least. She still misses Ezra. I think if I remember correctly in the cartoon, they kind of had a thing for each other, but kind of played just kind of they both kind of played hard to get her. No, actually, Ezra did not play hard to get with her, but she played hard to get. Um, if I remember correctly, it's been like 6 years since I've seen the show, but she's, I guess, still mourning his absence, in some ways, and that kind of shines through. She looked dead on. She looked exactly like Sabine from the cartoon. I mean, even later on, you see her in her Mandalorian armor, and just like this is perfect. This is great casting. I think this is good casting for her. If any character I would expect to have a character change would be Sabine, because I can tell Sabine is still there in the portrayal, but she's sad or depressed or withdrawn. Like I can see that more than I can see Rosario Dawson's portrayal of Ahsoka. I can't. I'm having trouble seeing the character change there, but I can see it a little bit better with Sabine. And we do see a hologram of Ezra. We don't really see much. I don't remember him doing a goodbye message, but maybe he did off camera in the show. And again, it's been 6 years. I don't really remember. And moving on to Chopper. We see Chopper briefly, and we saw Chopper in the Rogue One movie too, briefly, but yeah, he's Chopper's fine. He looks good. They still got the voice actor, and even that rubber, 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 rubber sound. That was a terrible, terrible portrayal. But you know what I mean. He doesn't have that. He has like that weird binary speech, like not like R2's or R5D4 is. You can actually almost hear the voice actor doing Chopper's, you know, audio sounds or whatever. But it was fun watching him. It was fun watching him in action and the back and forth between him and Hera. So that was cool. Chopper is always fun. Okay. Unfortunately, no. Was there mention? Did they mention Kanan? I don't remember if they mentioned Kanan, but Kanan's dead. Kanan's dead. He's not coming back. What I'd like to know is we don't see Zeb. I'm really hoping Zeb joins the crew too, because he was just as important as Hera or Sabine or Ahsoka. I know we see Zeb in season 3 of Mando, but Zeb really needs to get back with the Ghost in their hunt to find Ezra. Star Wars works best as an ensemble cast. We got Ahsoka, we got Hera, we got Sabine, we got Chopper. We need Zeb because who knows? Who knows if we're going to see Ezra? I mean, is he still alive? Is he not? Has he turned dark side? Has he not? We don't know. That's still all up in the air. Um, but as for the rebels, we see all of them except for Kanan, understandably, and Zeb, who at least we know is alive somewhere because we saw him in Mando. Let's see. What else I want to talk about? Thoughts on the rest of the cast. Where's Zeb? Oh, and also, well, I don't have a picture of him, but I wouldn't mind seeing Agent Kallus again too. Anyone who remembers Agent Kallus, he was one of the Imperial officers who ended up flipping to join the rebels. Um, wouldn't mind if he showed up too at some point. That'd be great. Kallus is definitely one of those characters you learn to like. Well, moving on to one of our villains. We're not going to cover all the villains because, again, mostly spoiler free. But here, what's his name? Baylan Skoll. So new guy, not a Sith, but he's definitely like a dark Jedi. He's a Jedi survivor. That's not a secret. All right. Minor spoiler. I apologize. But yeah, Jedi survivor. Orange blade, and I guess it's neither red nor blue or green. So I guess dark Jedi is a good way to put it. He is played by the late, I'm sorry, Ray Stevenson, who Ray Stevenson passed away. What was it, like 2 months ago? Um, so yeah, he passed away unfortunately. Hopefully all of his scenes were shot for season 1. Obviously, we won't be seeing him again in season 2. But I mean, so far he seems okay. He kind of strikes me as a bit of a Count Dooku type character, but we'll see. He's a little bit more he's a lot more soft spoken than Count Dooku. So we'll see. I mean, I don't think this guy's a full Sith, but he's obviously a Jedi survivor, and he does have an apprentice, and there is an Inquisitor, which I mentioned earlier. Minor spoiler, but I think we see the Inquisitor in one of the trailers. So if it's in the trailer, I guess I don't feel so bad. And I guess we're moving over to Easter eggs. Which do I have an Easter egg picture? No, that's Owen Kenobi. We're gonna stick with Ray Stevenson for a minute. Sorry, but yeah, as for Easter eggs, there were just way too many to point out. I recognized like about 100 different things that I'm not sure I could just blurt it all out at once. Um, but I definitely recognize the actor who played the governor of Lothal. I think he was the guy who was one of the rebels who was imprisoned with Ezra's parents, and I think it was the same. I think the voice actor is also portraying the actual actor as well, like the same guy. Um, I reckon the R2 unit that was in the V-wing fighter is definitely based off of the old Kenner R2D2, which was I wish I had a picture of it. I should have gotten that, but I didn't do that. And did the music stop? Hold on. Why does the music stop? Hold on. Something's not right here. Give me a second. Oh, I'm an idiot. I am a dumb person. Excuse me. Hopefully that should do it. Yeah. I want some music in the background. I could put whatever. Just some ambient music. Just something to, cut down the awkward silence. I've only put one damn song in, but there was a lot of Easter eggs. It got all right. I will say this: it got a little bit on the a little bit heavy on the member berries. I don't mind a few Easter eggs, but we don't have to go overboard. It just maybe just because I was such a huge fan of Rebels, and they did put a lot of attention to detail in the backgrounds or the droids. I noticed so much. And if you watched Rebels, if you're a fan of Rebels, you'll notice it too. But anyway, my hopes for the show. We'll go to that. My hopes for the show. What I hope to see, and what also concerns me. So, as I said earlier, about half of Disney Star Wars gets on my nerves, and the other half I absolutely love. So, that being said, I don't want to come off as a hater. I don't want to come off as a toxic fan. I want the Ahsoka show to succeed. I want this to be good. So far, first impressions, it's okay. I'm not singing its praises, but it's okay. It's got me interested. So I do want this show to succeed. Ahsoka Tano, I think her character is a real fun addition to Star Wars. Ever since she was debuted in 2008, during the 2008 Clone Wars movie. Granted, Ahsoka is a bit annoying in the first couple of seasons of Clone Wars, but over time her character matures. She definitely goes through some character development, and that's, she goes from a kind of an annoying teenager to, I would dare say, a classic Star Wars character, and so I definitely want Ahsoka to succeed. I was, really happy to see her come back in Rebels, and to see her show up in the Mando series. So, her character is definitely a plus, in my opinion. However, I am pretty skeptical these days. I can't. Lucasfilm hasn't exactly been hitting it out of the park lately, especially when you consider Indiana Jones 5 flopped. I think one of their shows was taken off the air, deleted or whatever, and so Lucasfilm is not on a winning streak right now. And even with, oh no, what did I do? Oh, did I do something? Hold on, please. No, everything's so cool. There we go. Even with like the Kenobi series, now I had my not reservations. I explained a few grievances before in the Kenobi series. I thought it was okay. I liked most of it, but some of it narratively didn't work for me. It was okay. I can take it or leave it. I'll probably, one of these days, I probably will watch it again, but I have no strong desire to. But I don't hate it. It was just, they could have done better. Book of Boba Fett, I wanted to love the Book of Boba Fett, and I just thought it was mediocre. And I'm not alone in this opinion. I'm not speaking strictly for myself. I'm speaking for, at least a few fans out there. It was mediocre, especially the end the end half of the series just kind of fell apart. Andor I haven't seen, I have to admit. I hear it's good. I just haven't sat down and watched it. I don't care about a guy. I don't really care about a character who gets blown up by the Death Star, whose introductory movie he dies. I don't care that much about him, but I will sit down and watch it one day. I hear it's some of the best Star Wars out there, so I will. I'm trying to keep an open mind. I will sit down and watch it one day. Mando season 3. Seasons 1 and 2 of Mando I thought were really good. I enjoyed every minute of the first 2 seasons. Season 3 I felt really just fell apart. The show had no focus. Either they gave up or they half-assed it. I don't really know, but season 3 of Mando just wasn't there. So I mean, now these are all based on my opinions. Oh yeah, I meant to scroll through this. Boba Fett and or Mando. Okay, whatever. It's too late now. But anyway, so this is why Ahsoka does need to be a hit. Ahsoka needs to be really good. They need to come up with they need to have a good story. They need to have a good ending. It needs to be a plus for Disney Plus and Star Wars. And again, I do hope it is. I can't emphasize this enough. The first two episodes are okay. They are worth a watch. They don't hurt. They don't hurt the brand. They don't do anything dumb. I don't entirely agree that Sabine should be a Jedi, but we'll see how that works. I mean, that's again part of the trailers. That's not really spoiling much. I'm not entirely buying that, but we'll see. I do remember Kanan trying to train Sabine after she had the Darksaber briefly, and he said something about she needs to be more open to the Force, but could be. So, we'll see. I think the Jedi training thing might be a little bit too shoehorned in, but we'll find out. Well, I mean, this is what I would hope. This is what I would hope to see in Ahsoka. This is what I would like to see, personally speaking. Me being a fan of the ensemble cast, I wouldn't object if either Mando or Boba Fett does show up at all in the show. If it serves the plot. I don't want them to just walk on camera, wave, and leave, and or maybe one of Mando's adventures crosses paths with Ahsoka's, and they help each other out, and then Mando's back off doing his thing, something like that. I would not mind that. I definitely would like to see Captain Rex. I think they said something that Captain Rex will make an appearance in the show. I hope he's added to it. I mean, obviously, oh my god, I can't remember his name now. Boba Fett. The same guy who plays Boba Fett plays Captain Rex. And of course, I'm blanking on his name, and I forgot to Google it in advance, so I'd be prepared. Completely forgot his name. Something Morrison. Temu Morrison? No, I gotta look this up. Now I have to look this up. Who plays Boba Fett? Come on. Who plays Boba? Yeah, okay. I was close. Well, I don't know how to pronounce it, but Temuera Morrison. Yeah, Temuera Morrison. If screw Boba Fett. If he just gets on and plays Rex, that'll make me happy because he is also part of the Rebels cast. So Captain Rex definitely needs to be in the show. So yeah. Now this is another thing which I know has bent some older fans out of shape a little bit, and I've got my concerns about too. But I remember in the trailer, and maybe I didn't hear it in the first two episodes, but Ahsoka's probably gonna say it in one of the later episodes. Ahsoka does actually say "Heir to the Empire," which is the title of a Timothy Zahn book, Heir to the Empire. In my opinion, this is the true episode 7 of Star Wars. And there we go, Heir to the Empire. And if Ahsoka is going to name drop the term Heir to the Empire because it's in connection with our boy Admiral Thrawn right here, Grand Admiral Thrawn, I'm definitely hoping, and I'm expecting to see Luke Skywalker make an appearance at some point during the Ahsoka series. Now, I'm not delusional here. This is Ahsoka's show. What I would like to see is if the Imperial remnants or whatever are trying to find Admiral Thrawn while the rebels are trying to find Ezra, and again, Heir to the Empire is mentioned by name, I would not object if off camera the events of Heir to the Empire are taking place. Luke and Leia and Han are doing their thing, and at some point Luke has to drop what he's doing, go help Ahsoka with something, and plot point, and then he goes back to the events of Heir to the Empire. If the events of Heir to the Empire are running parallel to the Ahsoka series somehow, I'm not really going to object to that as long as the events of Heir to the Empire are still happening. What's probably going to annoy me if they do the events of Heir to the Empire, and instead of this being Luke's story, they just give it all to Ahsoka, like kind of like a stolen valor thing. That's gonna bother me. I don't mind if we don't see Heir to the Empire as long as the events are still taking place off camera. And like I said, Luke can show up. Oh, hey, I'm in the middle of this, but I'll help you out. And then he goes back and does his thing. Yeah, blah, blah, blah. Or if the Ahsoka series ultimately leads to a proper Heir to the Empire story. I don't care if Ahsoka shows up in an Heir to the Empire story. That does not bother me. Like I said, I like Ahsoka's character, but I don't want to see Ahsoka taking the credit for Luke, Han, and Leia's episode 7 story right there. And also, since we're on the topic of Heir to the Empire, the right there, the Heir to the Empire, Dark Force Rising, and Last Command, the true Star Wars sequel trilogy, not to be confused with anything else. Anyway, aside, I would not mind seeing Mara Jade at some point come back. She's kind of like the forgotten character who Disney for some reason just kind of hung out to dry. Excuse me. But yeah, I mean, like, again, if they're gonna name drop Heir to the Empire, do give us an Heir to the Empire. And while we're at it, bring back Mara Jade. Come on, Luke. Luke was definitely done dirty. He needs something good in his life, especially since we know all roads lead to the sequel trilogy. Let's see. That's basically some of my concerns. I mean, we talked about. There's a couple of other things I want to talk about, but let's just do a quick summary. Talked about the very shoddy, spoiler-free review. I spoke about Rosario Dawson's performance, Ahsoka, my thoughts on the Rebels. I'd like to see Zeb show up. I hope he does. Kind of briefly talked about Easter eggs, but not really. Talked about my reservations of Sabine being a Jedi. See Luke, the whole Heir to the Empire thing, etc., etc. And my hopes, my concerns. I am forgetting something. I am totally forgetting something, but whatever. The show must go on. I'll figure it out later. At this point, there has been some chatter about the Ahsoka series, and this is put on your tinfoil hats now, okay? Tinfoil hat time, all right? The Earth is flat. Tinfoil hat. There are definitely some rumors. There's rumors all over the internet. The internet is probably 99.9% rumors, and only 0.9 of them, or 0.0009 of them are probably true. But anyone out there who's a Star Wars fan have probably heard the internet rumor that, the Ahsoka series is going to use the Veil of the Force to decanonize the Disney trilogy, which would be The Force Awakens, The Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. Now, I don't really know if that's true or not. I'd like it to be true. I just don't think it'll be true. But let's see. Is this the okay? We got this. So with the Veil of the Force, it's somehow connected with these three Force deities: the Father, the Son, and the Daughter. The Daughter being the light side, the Son being the dark side and the father being the balance. But the world between worlds, or the Veil of the Force, for those of you who are not aware, who might not be in the loop, who might not have seen Rebels, it's like a Force nexus, and I think Ezra is probably the only character who's ever actually managed to get in there. And it was a time travel device, and it was used in Star Wars Rebels, 5 years ago or whatever, and it hasn't been used since. And it was a weird MacGuffin, I guess you could say. I don't know if it's a MacGuffin, but I think MacGuffin is more of a handheld thing. But it was definitely an interesting plot point that Star Wars simply has not revisited. And you can look and peer through windows into events in the past and the future. And in Ezra's and Ahsoka's case, he altered Ahsoka's future by saving her life from Darth Vader. So it's like a plot point device that, like I said, has only been used once. And, you could make the argument that that event split the timeline or whatever. Maybe Ahsoka dying leads to the sequel trilogy and Ahsoka living does not, or Ahsoka living leads to the sequels and Ahsoka dying does not. Whatever. You could make these arguments. I mean, just these are internet rumors. We're in total, absolutely stellar, speculation territory here. But, I just want to talk about that because who knows where this show is going to go. The font of the Ahsoka series is done in the style of The World Between Worlds. Or, now that I've seen the second episode, maybe that star map that we see in episode 2. But it is a similar type of style and look to what was The World Between Worlds. So who knows if that's even going to play a factor into the show. But anyway, I just want to talk about a few things. I'm looking forward to the third episode, which would be next Tuesday. And maybe I'll do another one of these videos. Maybe I'll do a video for every time I see the Ahsoka series. Because I've been wanting to do something like this for a while. And, I don't really watch a lot of the MCU shows, so I don't really do that. And Star Wars is pretty much the only thing that I really keep tabs on anymore. Anyway, we'll see what happens with the Ahsoka series. I'm hoping I'm gonna love it. There's always a chance that something gets screwed up and I'm gonna end up hating it, but who knows? But I will follow the show's progress with great interest. And I think that's it. I think I'm done. If there's anyone out there watching or looking, I do appreciate it. Thank you very much. I'll probably be posting this on my YouTube channel tonight or tomorrow. And that's it. I'm done for the evening. Thank you for listening to my thoughts. I hope to do this again next week. I'm JimClassic. You have been watching Geekin It, and I will see you next time. Take care, everybody. Whoop. Take care.